Kerry here. I'm going to talk about 4 tools to move your business forward this year. As we've been at the Kickstart Summit, we've been talking about the things that will actually propel you forward, that you can kickstart your business with. So I'm going to talk about 4 of my favorites. One is something that you need to go purchase. The others are things that you get within CIBN membership. We've actually added them and paid for them for you, okay, because they're that important. So let's talk about the first one. This one is, we call it Meetin.com. And I'm going to be sharing my screen in a second here just to show you what these things look like. But as I do that, before I do that, I just want to actually jump into here and pick up the link for it and put it right on the screen for you. We have a special deal, okay, with Meetin. And why I love Meetin. Meetin is like Zoom, but it's better, okay? In fact, I think of Zoom as being something that is, passe, it's done, okay? Meetin is cool, it's new, it's flashy. You can brand it with your colors behind you, and it looks beautiful on the screen. But I think one of the most important things when you're in business is that you're able to bring up a link easily and share it with somebody and that they can click right on it. And when you're dealing with Zoom, like it just runs down in the chat. And if you're in a meeting with a lot of other people, yours just gets mixed in with everybody else's and it just disappears, especially if you're in a big room. We do a lot of big rooms. So, you know, I wasn't really fond of that feature. But over on Meetin, I can actually be talking and we can have a room full of people talking and I can say, hey, these are the 3 levels of membership, and I hit a button and 3 buttons show up at the top of the screen and someone can just push the one that they want. Now, if I'm in a one-on-one sales meeting and I'm talking to somebody about the speakers program, I can just hit a button and bring up just the speakers program, and it will have like a picture and an explanation and then a button to click. And when they click that button, it takes them, like it opens up another screen on their computer. So even after our meeting is over, they can go and look at that, and oftentimes they'll purchase like after the meeting. So like, what would that do for your business? I mean, if you're a coach or a trainer, or you're working with people in any way, shape, or form, and you're trying to share with them, you know, this is the link that I need you to purchase to buy now. You know, isn't it nicer to have it just come up with a picture, description, all your branded colors on it? I love that. So that's what we use as Meetin.com now. And if you go to the CIBN special, you're actually going to get cheaper than they sell it for. See, one of our members brought us the owner of Meetin, and we made a deal. And, you know, he helped us get set up with it. We've got many rooms. What we were using before would have cost us, well, it was costing us hundreds of dollars a month with Zoom, and we didn't have nearly the features and the use that we have with Meetin.com. So it's one of my favorite tools. They sell it, the basic pro package is like $50 a month on their site, but when you get it from the CIBN special, it's like only $30 a month, which is super, super cool. I'm just gonna actually share my screen here and show you what that looks like. So you can see here, so they've got Meetin, they got a free use, they have a pro for $10, and then they have Meetin Webinar, which is what we use, and a lot of our members use this. You know, it compares to like almost a $500 package on Zoom, and everything that you would get over here, multiple attendees, 1,000 attendees, recording storage, full webinar controls, everything is there for $29.95. So that's one of my favorite tools. And I'm going to just actually now talk about another tool that I love. Okay, so I want to talk about some of the things that we've added to CIBN, because when people are out networking and you go out networking, you want to meet people for many different reasons. Sometimes you want to meet professionals so that you can purchase the things that you need at a fair price and make sure that the job's going to get done. And I mean, that's a great reason to belong to a network. You'll miss out on a lot of mistakes and losing money because you're working with people who actually get the job done at a great quality price. Another reason you want to go out networking is because you want to get clients, clearly. I mean, you want to make money, right? You want to sell your stuff. And most people, when they go out networking, the thing is, they don't actually sell their stuff. They are struggling with that component of networking. And over the years, we learn to do networking in a different way. We learn to do it very, very profitably. And I meet people all the time and I say, well, Kerry, I don't need your help with networking. I've been doing it for a long time. I know what I'm doing. So I have a question for you if you're one of those folks. Do you make $150,000 a year from networking? Because I did my first year. And many of the people that we have mentored also have made $150,000 in a year. And that's why we wrote a book called Smart Networking, the $150,000 Method. And there's more than one way to make $150,000 a year in the business that you're in, but by networking, okay? So we give you all the tips and tricks and tools in order to do that in the book, Smart Networking. And that is one of my favorite tools. We built this book based off of the efforts of many people over the 15 years of running CIBN Connect. We talked to our most successful networkers that were making money from networking, and we created training from that. And these are the principles and things that we put into the book. And there's many different things in there, like how to get 10 referrals at once instead of getting one. That'd make a difference right there, wouldn't it? Okay. The guy who showed us that, I call it a little tip that he gave us, we started to put that into training. It started to change people's lives right away. We've been using that for more than a decade, and it works. But in chapter 10, we actually have a whole chapter called the collaboration practice. Okay, it's the collaboration partnership that we help people to put together at CIBN. That one concept also creates $150,000 a year. So, when I'm talking about the $150,000 method, there's more to it than just one thing. And if you can do a combination of those things and increase that even more. Another one is our LinkedIn method, which I'll get into in a minute because that uses a Chrome extension, but we'll get back to that. Let's just talk about the book. I want to share with you what the book looks like and where you can find it. So this is, a little bit about the book. We have it on CIBNconnect.com. You can purchase the book there. It's also available on kerrygeorge.com. You'll see the book available there. And this is what it looks like. You can go on Amazon and buy a physical hard copy of it if you want. You can also buy a PDF on Amazon, or you can get a PDF from us on any of these sites. We have them. And, in our book, we have a lot of different stories in there about how this has changed people's lives, what it has done for them, what the process was that they used personally in order to increase their revenue by that much. And every member who joins CIBN, even for $27 a month, our lowest level, they get these next three tools I'm going to talk about. And the book is one of those tools, okay? So you can see that it's available all over the place. These are some of the testimonies that people have shared about the book. There's a lot more in the book. And all this stuff, this comes available to every person who joins CIBN. So, you don't have to purchase it if you're planning to join the network. I just want to let you know that, because you get a download of this immediately as soon as you join. Why? Because we believe in it. We see it working, okay? And the next tool I want to talk about is the Chrome extension. So I'm just going to go over to LinkedIn here and have you keep following me. I'm just going to show you some profiles and show you what it looks like when we're using the tool. You see this piece here that's underneath each person I'm looking at? This is Francois. This is my husband. He owns Exposure Video. He does all the video work behind the scenes at CIBN. He did a lot of the editing off of the videos that you saw, the presentations where people went up and did their presentations over the course of the summit. And he is working tirelessly behind the scenes at all times, making everything look good, doing a lot of website work and a lot of video work and work on the shorts and all that kind of stuff. And he manages the video team. So when I look him up here, I see his, his logo, his, what he's talking about, all that. But this stuff here is extra. You see, you probably don't have that on LinkedIn. This here is coming with our Chrome extension. And as I look at him here, there's several things that it will do. First of all, if I want to do an automatic introduction, I click this button here, and it will allow me to instantly connect him to somebody else that's in my trusted network, just instantly. So making referrals becomes really, really easy. Also, if he were somebody I did not know, I could quickly look up deeper insights into his personality and look at, what he likes, what he is all about, a profile summary. And it also gives me like his DISC assessment and, that kind of stuff. So I can kind of get an understanding of who it is I'm going to get into a meeting with. So those are some really cool features of the tool. You'll notice down here on the trust-o-meter, this shows how much this person uses it. So he uses it some. As I look at some of our other members, like here's Tiff here. Tiff uses it more. She's a senior networker, and she's in there, using the tool regularly. And you can see that 15 people have given her golden recommendations as somebody that she should be as somebody that you should know, because she is a golden recommendation. That's like the highest accolade in the system, telling you, how awesome this person is. And you can also see that these people are ranked. This one says 10 out of 10. Okay. My husband, let's see, I'll come back to mine in a minute. My husband's a 6 out of 10. Why is that? Well, clearly in my house, he's a 10 out of 10. But the tool has actually got AI in it, and we set it up to bring us the best quality client. Okay. And for me, I've set mine with certain parameters so that I am attracting the kind of people that would spend $10,000 to $25,000 with me. And because that's my high ticket clients. Okay. Our memberships are $27.77, $177. They're all low ticket for people to get involved and be helped in their business right away. But when I'm looking for people online that I want to meet with my business, in my mentorship program, I work specifically with those that are building like membership-based businesses, and they're coaches and they're consultants, and they have subscription models. So you see, when I look at Francois, he's showing 6 out of 10 here. But when I go over and I look at Tiff, she's showing 10 out of 10. And if I go over top of her 10 out of 10 rating, it actually tells me why. It says where she's located, what she does, that she's aligned with the kinds of things that I, work with people on. And so this tool helps us to look anybody up on LinkedIn, anyone at all. And it will give us a ranking telling us if that's somebody we would want to meet or not. So it's a very effective tool, not only for networking, but for meeting exactly the person that we want to meet. I can also go click on this tool here, and I can see that 44 people that Tiff knows, she's entered into the system. And I could go click that button, and it would show me the ranking on all 44 of those people. So if some of them are showing 9 or 10 out of 10, I could actually quickly send a message using the tool in just seconds and say, Tiff, would you mind connecting me to your friend, Sarah? I see that she's a 9 out of 10 for me. Would you mind doing that? And she'll come back and say, yeah, no problem. She hits the button, and bam, we're all in a conversation together, and the introduction is made, and I'm now communicating with that person. We have methods of filling up events with this tool. I can put 1,000 people in front of an event in about 5 minutes with this tool. And we can also book our calendar with this tool. We can easily do 25 appointments a week, which for most entrepreneurs, that is enough lead generation to really raise their level of income. So all of this is available through this tool. And then if you look at myself here, when I'm looking at myself, it shows a little bit different, I don't have all of that because, of course, I'm looking at me, right? So as I look at myself here, you can see that I have 53 golden recommendations. 53 people said great, that I'm awesome at what I do. That's great. But you can also see that my trusted connections, so it doesn't give you the number there, but my trusted connections are like 1,200 or something like that. I'm one of the top 4. I think I'm the top 4 user of this worldwide. And you can see over here on the trust-o-meter, I'm at the trusted advocate level, which means that I'm at the highest level that there is for this tool. And that's because I use it every day. I believe in them. In fact, what is really cool about this is that years ago, we were doing the same kind of thing by copying and pasting. Okay. I never believed in spammy marketing with LinkedIn, where you just send people links and say, hey, do you want to come to my thing? Here's the link. It just doesn't work. And in fact, over the years, we've ran the stats on that. That gets about a 1% return. So if I'm sending out to like 1,000 people, I'm burning the bridge there for like hundreds, okay? Because they're irritated that this landed in their inbox from, pretty much a stranger saying, hey, buy my stuff. I don't even have the good graces to say, you don't know me, but buy my stuff. Well, I'm just saying, no, buy my stuff right off the bat. It's so irritating. Okay. It's the worst kind of marketing there is. And people are buying that. They're buying tools for that. And it's automated. This tool is not automated. It's semi-automated. So it makes the connection. It brings up the suggestion, and you get to look at it before you click send, So you can make sure that it is sounding like you would sound, or saying the things that you'd like to say. So I love that tool. It's such a time saver. Years ago, we trained people on how to meet others on LinkedIn and how to book appointments from LinkedIn, because I started doing it myself, way back in 2010, 2011. And I found LinkedIn was a great place to meet new customers, especially B2B or B2C. It doesn't matter. There's just a little bit different method of doing it, whether you're business sending your messaging to businesses or to consumers, right? But we did it effectively for years, and we did it the old-fashioned way, where we actually had to communicate with people, talk back and forth, copy and paste, answers towards them, that kind of thing. And in 2012, we started training other people to do it that way, and some of them had huge successes. I remember one member, joined us, and he had a couple hundred LinkedIn followers or connections. And over a short period of time, he was up to 3,000, 5,000. Today, he has like 25,000, connections on LinkedIn. And the way we do it, we actually train people to talk to a bunch of them, that they really do know them. And so, for us, it was so effective. I can walk down the street, my city, and people will go, oh, you're Kerry George. I saw you on LinkedIn. And that's because my connections are so broad. And now it's even happening in other places, because we've gone global, and I have so many connections around the world. And I'm seen in all the networking meetings, as well as in LinkedIn. I'm seen on Meetup and all these different places. So it's truly giving us influence as we built this out. And it also brought in about 150K a year as we were working with just LinkedIn. And we filled events with it. We sold memberships from it. Originally, when I was starting, I actually wasn't selling events and membership, because we bought CIBN's first groups and stuff. I think that was 2012. So my first initial uses for it was to sell marketing products of my own. I did social media marketing and online marketing for companies, and it worked really, really well for that. In fact, I think I was on LinkedIn about a week when I first got my first customer. So these methods work. We spell that out in the book, how to do it. We have training for it at CIBN. And the Chrome extension it's a very expensive tool, okay? But you don't have to pay for it. We paid for it already. I bought it because when I saw that it would basically do the things that I was already training our members to do years ago, I was like, man, we got to have this, because I knew only about 2% of our members were really killing it. Even though we were training and training and training, just this thing. I mean, you train people to do stuff, and then they just don't do it, right? It's just a little too hard, or it takes a little too much time, or whatever. So when I saw this Chrome extension, and I realized that it was made it a lot easier for people to do, and a lot easier for them to understand how to do it, I immediately invested in it for the company. I purchased, a large purchase. I pay a monthly fee that is above and beyond, that is quite extensive. Okay. And our members get to have access to the full use of the tool for a mere $27 a month. So they don't have to pay the big fee. If they're paying us membership, it's covered. It's right there. And so it covers the important problem that many networkers have, and that is that they need more lead generation, and also that they need more information on the person that they're about to meet, so that they can have a relevant conversation. And this gives them all of that and more. So I'm really happy that we have invested in this for our customers. And there is one other tool that we have, besides, we use meetin.com, which people have to pay for additionally, but we have the Chrome extension. It's covered for you. The book comes with it. And then we have a third tool that, again, members get for free at CIBN because we've purchased it for them and we've white labeled it so that they can go in and use it as a CIBN member. That tool is called Noladex, and it has to do with tracking the referrals that we give to each other and paying referral bonuses out, right? So instead of doing this as an individual, like say I said, I'm selling a 10K program and I will give $1,000 to somebody who gives me the lead that converts to a sale. We don't pay for a referral bonus until after the money has been spent by the customer, right? Or maybe you have something like this in your business where you say, well, I'll give you this much if that lead closes. How many of those have you actually paid out? I bet it's like 0 or 1. Maybe if you are a big time networker, it might be 3 times. Okay. We have found in 15 years of running a business network that there's many people who offer referral fees, but very few of them get paid out. And some of it has to do with the fact that it just takes a long time for that lead to convert. And if it's 3 years later, you can't remember that Sally gave you the lead, right? So it's hard to keep track of that. The other thing is that, just there's so many places leads are coming from. Sometimes we forget it was Sally that gave us the lead. So this tool actually allows our members to get together in pods, to get together in smaller groups and say, okay, we have a similar target market, so let's work together and use this tool. And I will refer people directly to you because, for example, if I were let's say I was an accountant or a bookkeeper and I work mostly with businesses, I'd love to be in a pod or in a little group where I have maybe somebody who builds websites because they're building websites for business owners, maybe somebody in Legal Shield who works with mainly business owners, right? Maybe I want to have somebody that does cybersecurity for business owners and somebody else that, is a business coach because they are only working with business owners. And all together we meet and then we give each other our customers because we've gotten to know each other and we now trust each other, but we still want to track where did the lead come from because they don't just convert immediately. And we do it as a community and there's a group leader for this community. And as that happens, these leads increase and we really get them warmed up. Okay. We really get them warmed up because we talk about like, what is the best way to send this referral? And then we also talk about later, have you checked on it? Sally said it wasn't the right time right now. Okay. And we know that she said she needed 3 months. Now 3 months is up. Who's going back to talk to Sally? Okay. Is it just a person trying to sell Sally something? Or is it someone in the lead group who says, you know what? Bob does such a great job. And Sally, I just want to make sure that you're taking time to reach out to him again and don't let this opportunity pass you by. I know he's super busy right now, but I can talk him into, making some time for you because you're my friend. That kind of lead warming up and tracking is generally not done in networking organizations. Okay. So Noladex allows us to track the activity. It also allows us to, manage the group and encourage everybody to continue to work together. And so it's a brilliant, brilliant tool. And again, it's something that's quite costly, but we've paid for it for our members so that they can come together and grow their pods together and then get the networking and the leads that they need to convert them into clients, whether they're clients at $27 a month or $25,000, it doesn't matter. The tool works just as well, no matter what price range that you're at. And even beyond, we have some of our clients. I have one client, you have to have $40,000 to do a buy-in for him. We have another member that, they're in hedge funds. Okay. So that is like big money. Okay. That's millions of dollars, to just play in that park. Okay. So it doesn't matter what the level is, these tools work, and they work brilliantly. And so I wanted to bring them to your attention because, we're talking about a kickstart your business, how to get things going, right? How to get things moving and shaking. And tools are costly for entrepreneurs. I know my tool bill is about $4,000 a month running CIBN Connect. Okay. And many entrepreneurs have tool bills. They have things like websites and customer retention management systems. And they have, apps that they're purchasing and all kinds of different things. And it's $50 for this and $100 for that and $60 for this and $120 for that. Well, we wanted to take these things and make the networking easier, make lead generation easier, make sales easier for our members. And so we have purchased these tools, or we pay for these tools for our members. So all you have to do is become a member and start using the network and the wealth of the network and the tools of the network to succeed. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. We've invested a lot in this because we believe in these things, and also because we believe in you. We believe in our members, and we believe in entrepreneurs, and we want to watch you succeed and grow. And that's why I bring this up at the Kickstart Summit. This is not the time to slow down. This is time to press ahead. And some of you might be thinking, well, I just don't have the time right now, or I don't have the money right now. There's no better time than right now to join the network. Okay? No better time. There's no better time to find out more. If you want to go find out more about the events, go to that link I just put up on the bottom of the page. Go find out more. Okay? There's no better time to do this, because if you don't do this, where will you be at this time next year? Is it going to get better with you doing nothing? You're going to be exactly the same spot next year. If you want to do something, you want different results, you have to do something different. So join the CIBN network today. Don't put it off. I just put a QR code at the top there. It will take you to our main website. And as you go there, you will see membership options are right there. If you got to start small, but get started, because this will change your life. And these tools, we have added them, we have vetted them, we've checked them to make sure that they work, and we handhold you to make sure that you're using them as you join the network. So join today. We'll get onboarded within the next 72 hours. We usually do onboarding very quickly, unless it's over a weekend, then it might be Monday or Tuesday. But it's usually very quickly, because we want to make sure that you are using them, you know how to use them, and that you're already starting to make those ideal connections right away so that you can start moving your business forward today. It'll change your life. So come and join us. And you know what? We have one more speaker left here in the summit. He is going to come and talk about keeping the money that you make. So you don't want to miss that one. Can't wait to see you. So make sure you join today.